Last night, you stated, among other things, that Mr Rudd had displayed a casual disregard on questions of national security. To read a bit of the statement, it makes the point that Uhlmann contacted Mr Rudd's office at 4 p.m. yesterday to seek response to these and unrelated accusations. It goes on to say that there were 50 meetings, approximately, of the National Security Committee during Mr Rudd's Prime Ministership. It also says that Mr Rudd has been advised that 2 senior Cabinet Ministers spoke with Uhlmann yesterday denying his charge against Mr Rudd. This was not reflected in Uhlmann's story. The statement goes on to say Uhlmann has made a similar allegation regarding Mr Rudd's attendance at the Strategic Priorities and Budget Committee. Those charges are also untrue, and it says that where ministers who were members of Cabinet committees could not physically attend themselves, they would usually be represented by members of their senior staff. That's only part of what is quite a lengthy statement. Your response?
Yeah, well, there are a number of things about this, and that's that this statement doesn't actually address the key allegations that were aired in that story last night, and they were that he was often hours late, and that when he was late, his senior staffer, which was his chief of staff, Alistair Jordan, stood in for him, and that appalled and scandalised some of the officials who were attending the meeting. Now, we know from this statement that Mr Rudd says that there were indeed 50 meetings the National Security Committee convened during his time. He doesn't actually say at any stage how many of those he attended. He says that he got there unless he was physically prevented from doing so because of other prime ministerial duties. Goes on to say including travel abroad or interstate, but in fact he couldn't attend some of these meetings while he was in the building, and in fact his office door is 15 metres from where this would have been meeting, and as I say, in some cases hours late to this meeting or not showing up at all. So on those fronts, that doesn't address the key issue. The words casual disregard came from the sources that I spoke to, so I imagine that's a matter of opinion. He says those claims are untrue. That's the way that it was seen by many, now by those 5, I should say.
Did 2 Cabinet Ministers contact you yesterday?
They certainly did. 2 Cabinet Ministers did contact me before I aired this story. I had a long conversation with both of them. Both of them disagreed with the idea that he showed a casual disregard. Neither of them, again, disagreed with the key elements of the story. They took issue with them. One of them in particular said he thought it was unremarkable that the Chief of Staff should be attending on the Prime Minister's behalf. Again, others do believe it was quite remarkable and wasn't the practice of previous governments going back over 30 years. So I guess that the main way to deal with this is that this doesn't address the key issues of that story. One last point that I would make. The spokesman that you referred to, Patrick Gorman, says in this that the office responded advising that Mr Rudd had attended all critical meetings of the National Security Committee. In fact, what he said was to say that Mr Rudd's office declined to comment. He went on to say that you can say this. Labor sources say that since day one in this government, various ministers have been represented on represented by staff on committees of cabinet, including Julia Gillard and Wayne Swan. At all the critical meetings, Mr Rudd was present. And in the story last night, I said, Labor sources said, at all the critical meetings, Mr Rudd was present because that's what I was asked to do by his office. Bottom
line, you stand by the story?
Absolutely.
And Julia Gillard, though, today, she's claiming cabinet confidentiality not to respond?
Again, she's claiming cabinet confidentiality, but she's not denying any part of the story. She goes on to say that Mr Rudd held national security in high regard. Now, I have no reason to believe that he didn't. What this story said was that his attitude to the National Security Committee was seen by many on it as showing a casual disregard for that committee.